Did you know you can turn old boring concrete into stone, brick, or barn board wood at a fraction of the cost? Stampable cement overlays are a thin polymer modified cement that gets bonded to an existing concrete and then stamped for a decorative finish. This is for homeowners, contractors, DIYers who want to upgrade their patio sidewalks or indoor floors. In this project, the customer called us because the tile was falling off. It was unbonded anymore. So we came in, we demoed the tile, removed the tile off site, removed all of the grout off site as well. And underneath, the slab was perfect for a stampable overlay. There was no cracks, no areas that needed major repair. Stampable overlays, or overlays that go over existing concrete, have to be structurally sound. So that means no major crumbling or shifting or giant gaping cracks across the surface. If there are cracks, they have to be mitigated with a repair mortar that's going to be suitable to that overlay on top. If the cracks aren't repaired, those cracks will telegraph right through the new surface. And also, a bonding agent is imperative so that that cement overlay or overlay type can bond down to the existing concrete. Any sort of overlay or epoxy coating for existing concrete, it's all in the preparation work. The repair cracks, the bonding agents, grinding to open up the pores of the concrete so that the cement or epoxy can bond into something. You don't want it to sit on a smooth surface because it has nothing to bond into. Because later in the video, I'm going to talk about how you can make $3,500 to $7,500 a week doing projects like this. Overlays. But this product, I really love the way it flows. The mixture itself blends really well. The setup time is pretty quick. And the one thing that I've always hated about overlays that I wish somebody would make better is that it doesn't set up like concrete. And the wonderful thing about concrete when it sets up is you get moisture that comes to the surface so you can finish it, which allows troweling and stamping and all that to be seamless. A lot of the overlays dry up internally and you can't get it closed up fast enough, or you're chasing it. And this product is just incredible because it acts as an overlay, but then when it comes to the finishing portion, you can actually get on with your knee pads if you want and hand float the surface. For me, being a concrete finisher, this is really important. And I would say for a beginner or somebody that's not familiar with it, you have a little bit more time to work with the product. And, that's going to be a really important part of learning with something is that it's not going to, especially cement overlays, you don't want it to take off on you really quickly. So look at this. Just look at the consistency, the thick aggregate that's in the overlay as well. And I'm just using a gauge rake. So just helps me move the material around to get an idea of my depth. With this product, you want to be about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch in thickness. And we did 2 coats. So we did one base coat just to find out any areas that were low or possibly high areas as well. Basically to level and flatten the surface. And then we applied a second layer on top of this to ensure, there was a good decent amount of thickness on there and that, there wasn't weird waves in the surface, so that it looked as flat as possible. There's a huge variety of options for doing these overlays, such as slate, seamless slate, brick, stone, barn board wood plank. You could even do modern geometrics, and you can also do stenciled finishes. You can also add colored borders, colored bands. Stain it. You could also stain this as well. So you can really get creative with a cement canvas like this. But ideally, the stampable overlay is nice because it creates texture and color all in one shot. And the neat thing is homeowners can create unique, one-of-a-kind looks with products like this, and something that may match their house or may modernize it. Something I want to try is adding some aggregate, so almost doing like an exposed aggregate, but with a cement overlay or something like that. So I got some pretty neat ideas I want to try in the future with some cement overlays. But here's a few of the ideas for stamping some of the textures that you can get with this. Here's a quick step-by-step for the cement stampable overlays. And you're going to need a pail, mixing drill, trowels, grinder, jackhammer, all that stuff to prep it and put it down. And also probably a paint roller to put the bonding agent down. But what you're going to want to do first is surface prep, clean the existing concrete thoroughly, grinder pressure wash or remove dirt or sealers or coatings. Make sure the surface is solid, no crumbling, no cracking. Crack repair, fill and repair any cracks so they don't transfer through the overlay. Apply bonding agents for maximum adhesion or grind it to prep it. Apply the overlay mix. So apply the bonding agent, roll that on or spray it on, let it dry. And then apply the overlay mix, which is a thin layer of stampable overlay, 1/4 inch to 3/8 thickness. Smooth it out evenly across the surface, making sure it's flat, closed up, and adhered to the surface. Waiting for it to stamp, stamping the design while the mix is still workable. Press the stamp into the surface. Choose from stone, brick, wood plank, or custom designs. Optional but not recommended. You could color and detail it using like release agents, color hardeners, stains for depth and realism. This will also give your overlay a natural high-end look. Curing. Allow the overlay to properly cure and harden, keeping traffic off the surface for 24 hours. You want to apply your sealer. This is very important. Apply a premium grade sealer that protects stains, weather, and wear, makes it pop, and adds long-term durability. All right, now I wanted to talk about why do this. It boosts curb appeal instantly. Your home looks more valuable, especially with the cut stone finish in a dark gray or dark black. Cheaper than tearing out or replacing concrete, as long as those cracks are repaired or anything like that. The custom designs, so no two overlays are going to have the same look ever. Safety benefits, textured surfaces reduce slipping. Durability, with the proper maintenance, overlays can last many, many years. The return of investment, very, very important. Cleaning up those entrances, maybe some steps need to be repaired. The potential buyers see premium finishes, which is instantly going to upgrade the value of your home or business. It also shows that you take care of your belongings and that maybe the rest of the place looks presentable and allows the people to enjoy or experience something new, like what is this, or is this a stampable overlay? Sometimes people don't even have a clue, but they love it and they're interested in it because the texture and the colors really open up their creative insight. Now, let's talk about the money side of stampable overlays, because this is where it really gets exciting. One of the biggest advantages of doing overlays is the low material cost compared to the high value for the customer. On average, you're only spending about $1.50 to $3 per square foot on materials, but customers are happy to pay anywhere from $7 to $30 per square foot, depending on the design and the finish they choose. Let me give you an example. Take 500 square foot patio. The revenue on that project can range anywhere from $3,500 to $7,500.
And this is a good half
If you factor in the labor, material costs, you're looking at about $1,500 to $3,000 in profit just on one job.
So it takes a bit longer in the shade when you're doing
And so
concrete
when you
or
step into
concrete
larger
finishing.
projects, that's where the numbers really add up. It's not uncommon to see contracts of $10,000 or more for decorative overlays, or you can keep it simple and do small projects for $1,500 to $3,000, or even smaller projects like step repairs or something like that to get started to feel out the product so you know what you're doing with it. That's why I say this is a great add-on service. If you're already in concrete or construction, this can be a great add-on service alone. So, whether you're a homeowner thinking about upgrading your space or a contractor looking for other revenue streams, stampable cement overlays bring a ton of value, both in how they look and how much they can bring back to your home or bottom line. All right, let's recap. Stampable overlays turn old concrete into something you'll love. They're an affordable upgrade, they're long-lasting, and completely customizable with endless patterns and color options. So here's my challenge to you. If you're a homeowner, take a good look at your patio, driveway, porch, or sidewalk. Imagine it looking like stone or brick or wood without tearing everything out. If you're a contractor, think about what adding this service could do to your business. Higher profits, happier customers, and even bigger projects. Either way, stampable overlays are a win. So don't wait. If you're ready to transform your concrete or ready to start offering this service, now is the time to take action. Go ahead, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also join my newsletter at theartofconcrete.ca. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.